Hey guys, Popular Boat here, and today I'm playing some Heart of Iron 4 as Finland. Starting a new campaign, going to be testing out a AI peace conference mod that I've been working on. The main goal of it was to prevent the AI from stealing any land that they don't actually directly control. Did this with a simple is controlled check for states. But I can only seem to apply it to annexation and the AI actually taking states. But from what I saw in my tests last night, it makes quite a difference to having a sensible peace conference. But anyway, we're going to be playing as Finland. I'm not quite sure what ideologies we're going to do. We'll see how the world plays out. The only other mods I'm running are cosmetic, so we'll purely be testing out mine. Going without AI focuses, and it's going to be an Iron Man game. Let's call this AI Peace Test Finland. Whoops. Alright, let's get started. I'm tempted to, I would be tempted to go for some achievements of maybe the Northern Lights achievement or something, but with mods enabled it's a bit more tricky to actually get anything like that. Alright, let's have a quick look at what we start with. 18 divisions, a couple just like garrison style. A little bit of cavalry. We'll chuck them all in one guy. Hey, we actually start with a general, that's quite nice. Commando and Ranger. Let's chuck a Ranger on this guy. Chuck them on the Soviet border because they're probably going to be the closest we come to a threat anytime soon. And let's work through our stuff. So we start off with a little bit of fascist, a little bit of democratic. We've got no manpower. Wow. That's going to be tricky then. What's our actual population? 3.7 million. Well, that is going to suck. We're going to have to do our best to fight off Soviets. Or maybe just take Sweden. Going fascist and getting Sweden early would probably help a fair bit. But anyway, let's getting ahead of ourselves. We start with a national spirit for division recovery, attrition, attack on core territory. That should make us quite defensible against the Soviets. So we're a minor nation, well technically a minor nation, so we start with the generic tree. I think what we're going to just focus on first is getting our industry sorted out. We'll deal with our complete lack of manpower in a little while. I am running a flavor names mod, so everything's a little bit more accurate, which I do appreciate. Okay, we start with weapons 1, that's quite good. A couple support divisions is also nice. Access to artillery, we don't have a doctrine. We don't start with one assigned, I mean. Start with some medium cruisers and submarines. No knowledge of what a plane is. And I think we're just going to go for classic start. Grab electronic mechanical engineering for faster research time. Grab basic machine tools for increasing our productivity efficiency cap, and probably construction 1. We are going to want to get field hospitals and motorized as quickly as possible. I don't want to make that same mistake that I did with my Fascist Cuba game. Free civilian factories. We actually have 4. That's pretty significant. Let's get a couple more civilian factories going, and then a couple military factories. Now for military factories we get 1 more that's free, and that's going to go straight onto equipment 1. Dockyards, we start with 1, that's going to go on to convoys. We do actually start with a tiny navy. And that's probably a good time to start. Okay. Gonna have to see how things play out as to where we're going to look for alliances or finding enemies. We're definitely going to be fighting the Soviets. Not going to be avoiding that. The tricky part is how well we can fight them. Although once we start pushing in, that'll help with our manpower. If we can get the Soviets to capitulate and take some of these bigger states, that would be fantastic. But currently they outnumber us with 10 times the divisions we have. Okay, what are we super short on? We're looking alright for guns. We need support equipment and infantry equipment. Are we good on manpower? Yeah, we've got 100% manpower on everyone. So it's pretty much just production of equipment we need. It shouldn't take us too long to catch up. These early industrial effort focuses will give us some factories pretty quickly, and that will help us out a lot. This navy, let's get that merged up. Might as well grab a admiral for them. They're not really going to do anything useful, but we may even move them away from the coast. Or away from being within the range of Soviet planes so much. The question comes if we want to grab Sweden. So what do we need to justify war goals? Just need to be 50% world tension. See how we go. It would be nice to expand before we fight the Soviets, but we're just going to have to see how the world plays out till we get there. Let's bump it up to speed 4. And Italy should be working its way into Ethiopia. There they go now. It's always a reasonably slow start, but once the ball gets rolling, it really gets rolling. Germany's going for the Rhineland, France is going for Metro France, UK is doing the reinforcement of the Empire, Poland is strengthening its state, Soviets doing their purge, Italy doing sensible things, US is reaffirming the Monroe Doctrine, and Japan is doing some army primacy. All pretty common standard things. Just have to keep an eye on this as we go. Oh, we should actually give them a order. Let's tell them to take to this river, across to this lake, across it, and to this river. And another line to just get to the back of here. We could actually split these guys up a bit to focus down. I think that'll be alright for now. We can deal with that as the time goes on. Okay, divisions. Okay, our divisions are short on some manpower. Horses have 2,500. Garrison divisions have 3. Regular divisions have 6. Spanish Civil War, that was very fast. I'm used to seeing Ethiopia collapsing before that fires. Okay, we're about to complete our first focus. How many factories do we actually have at the moment? 7 and 3. 30% of our factories get consumed. Just trying to decide if I want to grab more civilian factories first or go for military. I think we'll be fine grabbing construction. Germany's remilitarized the Rhineland. Let's grab some more civ factories. I'm tempted to switch us to fascist so that we have the option of leaning on the Axis as a crutch. But I think we'll just watch how it goes. The issue with us going fascist immediately is we can start pissing off the Allies and they might come after us. We'll see how we go. We are short on a little bit of aluminium, but that's to be expected. What resources do we actually start with? Some steel and chromium. What is chromium used for again? Isn't that all for tanks? Whoa, look at all that over in Sweden. Okay, I think we're going to go fascist. And we will go take Sweden and grab all those resources for ourselves. And maybe Norway if we can swing it. How much of an army does Sweden start with? 10 to 15, or 9 to 15. I reckon we can probably do that. In fact, I'm quite confident that we could. Let's get these guys off of this border. Don't want to navally invade. Let's chuck them on Sweden's. And we want you to go right down to here. Okay, we've got our first tech. Let's grab mechanical computing straight away for the additional research time bonus. Takes a fair bit longer, but the earlier we get the bonuses, the better. Do we have... Okay, so first political power is going to go on the silent workhorse for the additional political power gain, and then we'll grab the fascist demagogue. Tempted, oops, didn't realise I was paused. I'm tempted to put more people into cavalry for some early manoeuvrability to kind of do a shitty blitz into Sweden. Let's just have another look at our divisions. Yeah, it's infantry, it's just equipment we need. How long is it going to take to catch up on infantry equipment? 400 days. Ooh, that'll be painful. Once we get these factories up though, that'll help a lot. Germany going for the Autobahn. Italy going for Mare Nostrum. Let's see how Ethiopia is going. They're holding out in their capital quite well. It looks like Ethiopia has armies split away though. If Ethiopia has a significant number in their capital, they can actually hold that out for quite a while. Especially if their mountaineers made it there. I had some good fun seeing how well I could survive as Ethiopia. I found it worked very well if you just fall back to the mountains and immediately start trading, well, your first available civ factory, trading that away to the UK for some steel, so you can actually produce your weapons to catch up. Okay, we've got construction effort 1. Let's actually grab political effort. Ooh, tricky. No, armament is always going to be the better option. We need that additional factory right now. Yeah, so we got a new civ factory, but it immediately went to consumer goods because of our trade laws. We've got basic machine tools. What does that give us? It improves our production efficiency cap. We are gonna go... Okay, from what I'd seen in the patch notes, they fixed the production efficiency retention, but I don't think we're gonna be switching our production queues all that much. Where the output would be nice. Let's actually grab Dispersed, because I haven't tested it since the initial release, and the patch notes saying that those modifiers actually being fixed might make it significantly better than what it was. Because of how few factories we have, we're going to be switching between producing different stuff as we need it. Okay, we've got our first guy. Grab the silent workhorse for the plus 15% political power. We're going to be switching between our lines a fair bit. Okay, Germany's doing the West Wall. France is going for military factories. Poland's doing some national defense. Italy's doing air innovations. Britain's going for motorization. Looks like the US wants to secure all their guarantees immediately. Japan is mobilizing spiritually. We really need this equipment to catch up. It's going to take a while at this rate. 12 a day is not very much at all. Especially this support equipment. We've almost got construction 1 to boost our construction speed a little bit. Let's put these guys on aggressively execute so they can try and rush as fast as possible. And let's get this planned out a little more. Thank you for the follow, Agates. How are you doing? And welcome to the channel. Hey, Ethiopia's finally been annexed. Italy's on a roll. Although, I'm surprised it took them longer than it took for the rebellion to fire, the civil war. US and Germany are both sent troops. Okay, we've got construction 1. Let's actually have a quick look. I want to grab motorized reasonably quickly. I also want to get some doctrine started because that's incredibly powerful. Not too fussed about Grand Battle Plan, although this line is very nice. Having bonuses for night combat and everything is quite good. Let's just get ourselves some motorized sorted out. I hate this. Early on when we have limited research slots, it's always tricky. Let's just grab our support weapons. Mass Assault is the best. Not when you've got limited manpower though, eh? What do you like about Mass Assault? Like, Mass Assault is quite nice if you're getting surrounded. The bonus recruitable population would be great, considering how little we have. I've had a tendency to grab superior firepower when playing small for the massive amounts of extra attack. Like 20% soft attack on the first one is great. All infantry, 20% more defense is nice. Just very hard hitting seems quite beneficial. Lowers your troops make. Yeah, I don't think that's the best feature of it though. Soviets are purging their leadership, good for them. We've got armament effort. Let's work our way down and get our research slot in. Let's get caught up on weapons. We don't really have the manpower to be spitting out many divisions. Oops. So having fewer stronger divisions is going to be quite beneficial for us. Need more manpower, get military youth and militarism. Yeah, I'm probably going to be going down the fascist path pretty quickly too. The next advisor I want to grab will be the fascist one. Olympics have happened. Dispersed industry. Okay. It is August, a bit too soon to be doing anything fancy. It's just after my last campaign was as Fascist Cuba, and we ran out of manpower very quickly. So I'm a bit hesitant about how quickly we're going to run out of manpower here as well. I think we're going to grab motorized, so we can start working towards getting field hospitals up and running. Because that was the other thing I forgot to do in my Fascist Cuba campaign. Like, we started the game with absolutely zero manpower. Or maybe like 100 or 200. That's pretty crazy. Okay, what's everyone up to? Germany's industrializing, so is... Hey, there we go. Nationalist Spain has won. Didn't seem to take them very long. France is going for an air focused. British is working on tanks. Italy is doing some industrialization. And we are getting close to having enough political power to grab our next advisor. It's your thing where it's volunteers only. We start with limited conscription, so we already start the game with 2.5% recruitable population, which makes me nervous because when we've only got a population of 3.7 million, it's going to be a bit tricky. But if we can take Sweden reasonably fast, then here we go. Let's grab our fascist guy. If we can grab Sweden and maybe even Norway before things go too crazy, we can probably double our effective population. So I want to try and grab that as quickly as we can. Okay, how is our equipment looking? Slowly getting our strength up. Starting with a little bit of fascism should make it easier for us to switch. Okay, that's got our construction effort. I'm just going to go straight for our research slot. We really need that to advance faster. I need to get around to having a game as the Soviets so I can understand their great purge mechanics a bit better. I haven't really looked into it too much. Like I get the general gist that they kill off all their advisors and put themselves in a pretty awful position for quite some time, but I'd have to actually see how that plays out for myself one day. I keep playing all these smaller nations because having limited resources and limited everything is just a bit more, or feels more interesting than a major game, where you can just assign a front, draw a line and hit go and generally do pretty well. Okay. Fascism support's growing, our techs are getting there, our focuses are getting there. We've almost built our first factory. We're starting to catch up on supplies. Support equipment is the really slow one, and that's because we are actually using all of our steel on guns. Let's switch it this way around so we're spreading the lack of resources penalty over both. Yeah, let's do that. And yeah, I think this is probably a good place to put in a break. So, thank you guys for watching, hope you've been enjoying. Like, subscribe, check out the links below the video to my other series, and next episode we will be turning fascist and pushing our way into Sweden. See you then.